And we are live. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm sure everybody's fired up and happy. We've got some great election results to talk about. And then we've got some world events to talk about that are not so great. But hey, it is what it is, and we've got to deal with it. We've got to deal with things as they are. Got to keep people motivated. So let's do this. Morning, folks. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. I really do. I hope you're having a fantastic day because I am. You couldn't slap the smile off my face this morning. You really couldn't. I am really fired up. But it's days like today that make it really, really worthwhile. It really, the work pays off. You know, folks, this has taken years to build this community. This isn't one of those, oh, he went viral, and no, we've built this community over years, and we have hundreds of thousands of people on every platform. And I don't do what other people do. They will tell you to never block people. They will tell you to never remove people because they count in your follower count. That is not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to build a follower count on social media. I'm building a community. So yes, I block right wingers. I block MAGA. I block trolls. I get rid of those people. 100% get rid of those people. And there's a reason why I do what I do, because the community that we're building here, I want it to be effective. I want you folks to be able to actually affect change. I want you people to make a difference when elections roll around. And you can't do that if you've just got a bunch of freaking trolls following you. You just can't. Robert Walsh, thank you for being here, for supporting the show. Thank you. And boy, did you folks get it done. But I will tell you, MAGA is at a complete loss. They don't get it. They don't know why what happened. They love what this administration is doing. They get off on murder. They get off on, all the things, all the nastiness and the grossness and the pretend stuff that's going on. We'll talk about that more later in the show, with Trump running around just pretending everything's fine. They love that stuff. They do. They live on social media. But more importantly, most of them aren't actual American people. They aren't. MAGA is plagued with this. This is somebody that I was doing Troll Patrol. I've told you what Troll Patrol is before. It's when I put a video or a post out, there's automatic responses. That one of the accounts that's well hidden on my platform has alerts to when I put a video out. Then they put this shit out. They put attacks out. The whole point is to try to make it unpleasant for you, unpleasant for me. There are multiple reasons they do it, but this is one of the accounts that I went through and I blocked. And I just wanted you to take a look at that. This was off of Threads. Threads has a really neat option on their mobile platform. It's got to be mobile. This doesn't work on unfortunately, I don't get it. I don't get it. Their Instagram and all of them, they just treat PCs and laptops like they're redheaded stepchildren, and everything's made for your phone. So this functionality is only on your phone, but you can click on an account. You can click on somebody's nasty post, then you click on their account, Then you click on the name on their account, and this will pop up. And it's background information. And of course, this guy is based in India, but he claims to be US Hub MAGA. And that's why, folks, MAGA cannot understand what's happening to them. They can't. They're being told by a bunch of foreign actors out of Nigeria, out of India, out of Russia, out of Indonesia, all over the world, these massive accounts that have nothing but bot followings are telling the worst among us that everything that they love is right and good, and that we all feel that way. And us, who are actually real people that really exist, that really do things, that really get involved, really show up for No King's Day, really get involved with the local Democratic Party, and actually walk into voting booths and vote. Yeah, we're just a few people. That's it. That's it. Because you got to account with 100 million people, supposedly people that are really just all bots, and they have no clue. This should be a crime. It really should be a crime. And one of the things that I'm going to be pushing for after the midterms is legislation, and we may not be able to get it done until 2028 when we've got a Democratic president, but legislation that forces these platforms, to see this information on Thursday. I mean, kudos to Threads for doing this in the first place, but it really should be displayed on your, every post you make. People shouldn't have to hunt to find out if you're a foreign bot or if you're a foreign actor pretending to be American, pretending to be, that should be information that is readily available, and it should be on every social media platform right there by your name. The next place should be your country of origin, where you're from. That is something that we need to do so that we can clarify the disinformation in our politics. But where I'm going with this is this has massive effects on people's response to what happened yesterday. Yesterday was a rout. We killed it yesterday. Democrats, I mean, we talked about this when, it was a tough loss for Afton Bain in Tennessee's 7th district, but we talked about how much that needle has moved. I mean, the numbers that she put up, I kept telling you, these numbers nationwide, that is a Democratic tsunami. You're talking about in the reddest of red districts, she moved the needle like 12, 13 points in the reddest of red districts. I told you what that would mean going forward in future elections, and this happened, folks. This happened. Mr. Knutson, thank you for being here. I don't want to spend time reading a hostile, hateful, unserious troll chat. Keep up the good work, Texas Play. Hey, man, you keep up the good work. You are the folks that are making this happen. That's the whole point of this. I may have put years into bringing this community together, but you are the community. I mean, it is an us thing, brother. It is an us thing. But let's dig into some of the good news. This happened. This is just amazing. This is amazing. I never saw this coming. I didn't. I knew we were going to do well, but I never saw this coming. I didn't see this flip happening. Miami has a huge Cuban influence, and the Cuban community is religiously Republican. They are the one Hispanic anomaly that it doesn't matter how bigoted, biased, shameful, hateful Republicans are, they never see it. They never do. Well, the dam has broken, people. The dam has broken. This was not only, this was a huge victory. They have not had a Democratic mayor in Miami in 30 years. We're talking 3 decades. There are grown-ass adults walking around that have never seen this reality. And it is just amazing. I mean, you could not slap the smile off my face to see these trends happening. And it is because, for decades, Democrats who held power kept warning people, look, you're not going to believe the shit we're having to negotiate off the table. You're not going to believe the stuff these people want to do. I'm telling you, they want to take away abortion. They want to take away women's right to vote. They want to, they want to deport everybody that's not white. And they didn't believe us until we finally had an election where Republicans had enough power that they could just do what they wanted to do. And what did they do? Everything we warned you about. Everything we warned you about, they did. And yeah, a lot of Democrats are just, we told you. I mean, understandably so. And understandably so. It's like the farmer bailout. Here we go again. Just like the last administration. Trump in 10 months, or pardon me, a little over a year, has added $2 trillion. I say 10 months because that's where the number cuts off. That's where the data cuts off. But in a little over a year, Trump has added $2 trillion to our deficit, to our debt, pardon me. Yeah. $2 trillion. Boom. Just like the last administration. And it's just it's arcing upwards. It's arcing upwards. Farmers are now getting bailouts again. We're 1 year in and farmers are now on welfare again. Yeah, just like the last administration. It's the same shit, different day. I mean, we told you, we told you, we told you, we told you. But somebody told you, hey, there's some people of color for you to hate on. They're eating dogs and cats, man. And y'all dumbasses, y'all MAGA dumbasses, y'all went into the election booth and you voted for this piece of shit again, and you got exactly what you voted for. And a lot of people are waking up to that. A lot of people are waking up to that. All right. This also happened. I'm not going to do it. I just got a chat shared with me that pissed me off. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. Okay, here we go. This also happened in Florida. This is freaking amazing. Florida's District 90. Now, this was going to be a Democratic win, okay? We're talking numbers here. We're talking number shifts here. This is freaking amazing. The aggregate shift in Florida was 20 points. 20 points, folks. Rob Long nails it in District 90. We expected a victory here. We didn't expect this margin of victory here. 20 points. We also lost one around north of Tampa. But again, you're talking about a 20-point shift. Folks, extrapolate that over the midterms in 2028 because the Republicans are running the wrong direction here. We're going to talk about this more after we talk about the results, their reaction to it, and the things that are happening. This just keeps growing. At this rate, Florida is blue in 2028. It's just amazing the work that you're doing, the messaging that you're getting out, the way that you're explaining these things to people. You're getting through the dumbass bubble. You are, folks. You really are. And it's happening everywhere. I mean, this is just freaking amazing. Eric Giesler in Georgia flipped a bright red seat. You're talking about District 100, the 121st State Congressional District in Georgia. This has been a strongly controlled Republican seat for, I think it's been 2 decades now. This give you some idea. This was the margin of victory last night for Eric Giesler, 51-49. 2 points. You're thinking, oh, well, 2 points, man, that's a squeaker. Oh, my God, no. This was the last election in that district. This was the last election in that district. You talk, look at that shift, people. Look at that shift. You're talking 39 to 60, 61 to 39, folks. You're talking 22-point victory. You're talking about a total aggregate shift of 24 points in a red district, in a gerrymandered district at that. This is the district we're talking about. This is after the 2020 redistricting in Georgia that was supposed to cement a permanent Republican majority in Georgia. This is just outside Athens. This is the 121st district, just outside Athens, Georgia. This was supposed to be a layup, and we had a 24-point shift. And that wasn't the only one. We got another one that's going to a runoff. This is Scott Sanders. He's in District 23. This is Scott Sanders. We're going to run through a few of these so you can see some of the things. I just want you to see the numbers. This is Scott Sanders. Okay. This is last night's results. He actually defeated his opponent, but since nobody got enough of a majority, he and Bill Fincher are going to go to a runoff. Folks, this is a ruby red district. This is a ruby red district, folks. This is, you're talking about a 20-plus point shift in Georgia. Now you know why Marjorie Taylor Greene, the elevator flatulators, put in her resignation. They know on the ground what is happening. That means Georgia is blue, folks. Those kind of numbers, if we keep going, if the Trump administration does not change course, they keep doing what they're doing, this grows from an aggregate 20 to 22 point shift in Georgia to a 24 to 26 point shift in Georgia. And that is just a decimation of the Republican Party in Georgia. Same in North Carolina. Same in all of these states that we've been looking at and salivating. Texas is in play, folks. And I'm not asking you to believe on hope. I'm showing you the damn numbers. And all I'm asking you to understand is that if you keep at it, you keep nailing it, you keep these fringe people, these bots that are brought in that's supposed to be lefties, that all they do is attack the Democratic Party. Keep tamping those people down. Keep pushing them away. Keep talking decency. Keep talking about what's important. Don't let them change the subject. We're going to talk about Jasmine. We're going to talk about Jasmine. We are. Fantastic news about Jasmine Crockett. George Allen, thank you for being here. Yeah, this is fantastic news. This is incredible. And I'm telling you, folks, the Republicans are running the wrong direction after this news. I'm telling you, I told you what every bit of common sense told you would happen. Yes, we're going to see some resignations. We are. But I told you this would mean a shift in policy, that this would mean a change in policy. They're doubling down. They are. They're not doing the smart thing. They're doubling down. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Stick with me, okay? Stick with me. Netadal, there are fake AI accounts here on YouTube. Be careful. There are people. It will not be long till you see this face saying right-wing shit because it's made up AI crap. They've already done it to Rick Wilson. Rick Wilson's had to hire a lawyer and sue. There's an account out here that is pretend Rick Wilson. It's all AI generated shit. I'm telling you, it is coming, man. It is coming. They think that's going to save them. Pamela K, Y3B, thank you for being here. Huge support. I'm super grateful. Thank you. Cannot do it without you, folks. I can't. This also happened. We expected this victory. We did expect this victory, but Republicans threw a boatload of money at this. In New Mexico, the Republicans were tasting it, man. You're talking about local races that the Republicans were dumping cash into that they really thought they had a shot. But, we Democrats were pretty much well confident that Mayor Keller was going to win re-election. We did not expect the numbers that we had, because we thought it was going to be much more of a fight because of the resources that Republicans were throwing at it. Folks, all of that money has been thrown into a pile, had gasoline poured on it, and set on fire. It's just set on fire, because it's not just Mayor Keller that's won re-election handily for a third term. This is Clarissa Pena. They went after her with everything. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink, and the kitchen sink was loaded with money in it when they threw it at her. They did everything to try to win this seat. That's District 3. We're talking about the New Mexico City Council. It's currently split 5-4. They thought they were going to take that over. They did. And they're going to try to do things like they're doing here in Texas. Texas, I've warned you about Turning Point USA, and I've warned you about Turning Point USA, and I've warned you about Turning Point USA. I hope this will help you understand just what a brainwashing, disgusting, sick organization it is. The Republicans here in Texas are now going to put a Turning Point USA chapter, not in colleges. They're going to put them in every high school, and they're going to use our tax dollars to do it. Yeah, you heard me right. So yeah, folks, they are desperate, and they are doubling down on everything that they think is going to carry them through. Some of it we've got to be worried about, like that's Turning Point USA shit, and that was their plan here. If they could take over the city council, they really thought that they were going to implant that Republican sickness and go after the children. But no, they have lost. Christopher Daly, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for supporting the show. They have lost, because not only did Clarissa Pena win, but also, ta-da! 1 second. Stephanie Tellez won. District 1. She won it also. This is one that they also thought they had a chance in. Threw a boatload of money at. Nope. Didn't happen. Did not happen. Sorry. But there are elections all over the country where we just nailed it. We did. Even ones that weren't pickups. We had districts moving in Iowa. We had districts moving. And this is outstanding news. Now, let me tell you, what I'm about to talk to you about is good news, and it's bad news. Okay? It's good news because it means the momentum is going to keep growing. It is. The momentum is going to keep growing. But it is from here to there to election day. So they're going to continue to do awful, awful things. I want you to listen to this guy. I want you to listen to this. This is Scott Turner. Okay? Did you just listen? This guy is in charge. I'll explain here in a second. Just listen to him.
When you have over 12 million people coming over our borders unchecked, unvetted, this is straining our housing market from a supply standpoint, from an affordability standpoint. HUD just put out a report and found that between 2021 and 2024, the foreign-born population in our country in just 3 short years is 6 million people, which is the most in that period of time in American history. And so we cannot forego the thought that because of illegal immigration, because of people coming to our country, prices have risen, supply has been squeezed, but we're working very hard at HUD, along with the the president and other leaders in the administration to bring down the cost and raise the supply when they're doing it through interagencies. But we need the Fed to cut rates. We need to continue to deport illegals that are taking houses from the American people. So we're very intentional and focused about it at HUD and across the administration.
Okay, that's Scott Turner, the Secretary of HUD. And let me ask you, did he fill you with confidence that he gonna be able to do anything about that housing? Did he? Did he make you think that he was gonna be able to do anything about that housing? Jesus Christ. This administration is filled with frickin' morons. I mean, morons. Scott Turner is a moron. Firelighted, thanks for everything. No, money is not everything in elections. It is not everything. It is something, though. It is something. George Allen, they can't fund schools, but they can stick these dopes in there. Yep. You better believe it, brother. You better believe it. You better believe it. That's why they freak out when you point out all the bigoted shit that Charlie Kirk said and is getting pumped through Turning Point USA, because they really think this is going to take them to Valhalla, man. They're going to get them young kids screwed up early. Rena Scott, 7631, is an awesome day, though, when ruby red turned ocean blue. Looks like a tsunami is coming. It is, but we can't rest on our laurels. You know, you got Scott Turner out there just, appealing to the bigotry. It's them illegals that are causing the housing crisis. It's them illegals causing the housing crisis. God, just listen to the man speak. It shows you just how stupid and incompetent these people are. Folks, let me give you some inside baseball as to what actually caused housing prices to shoot up like they did. First of all, that's what housing builders wanted. That's what housing builders wanted. So they didn't build a lot of houses. I mean, why build 1,000 houses when you can make this much money, when you can build 500 houses and make this much money? The profit's much greater doing it this way. The builders just didn't do it. Now, another problem that they had, some of the smaller builders just could not build. Why? Costs. Stupid idiot tariffs on Canada, driving up the cost of lumber. Man, I'm getting into woodworking, and I'm telling you, I may have to pick another hobby because the cost of wood right now is insane. And it's not just wood, it's just every product that goes into a house. The cost is insane. There you go. Proud Texas liberal, A.B. Manuel here. Who's going to build their affordable housing? That's the next one. That's the next one I'm about to go to. Paul says, thank you for keeping us informed and our mental sanity in check by giving us hope for a better tomorrow. This is not what I was planning on doing in my 50s. Me either. Mr. Knudsen in the house. Cutting rates don't make houses cheaper. How dumb do they think we are? You need to increase supply and tax people with more than 2 homes until they can't make a profit. I love that you folks are so informed with this. I really do. Look, you want to know? It's things like this. They told you they were just going to get rid of them criminals. That's what they were going to do. They're going to get rid of them criminals. Really? Because you just did this, man. You just did this. They walked in to an immigration ceremony, an immigration and naturalization ceremony, and plucked people out of line that were about to take their citizenship oaths. They have done everything. If you are even mildly aware of our immigration process, you will know that it takes a very long time and a lot of work to get to this point. These people have jumped through more hoops than a kid with a hula hoop to get where they are. And they walked in and they pulled people out of line because of their country of origin. Literally walking in to take the oath of citizenship. They were being naturalized. No, this isn't about criminals. This isn't about Trinidad. This isn't about drugs. This isn't about crime. It's about bigotry. It's about bigotry. It's about, guys like little Hitler, Stephen Miller, that thinks America ain't white enough. It's getting too dark around here, people. It's getting too dark around here. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And how does that apply to housing? Who's going to build your fucking houses? You think there's a lot of white folks lined up? Do you? You ever been to Texas in the middle of summer? I invite you, come down to Texas in the middle of summer. We'll go out to some of these areas where they're building houses, and we'll take a look at those crews. And you point out how many white boys you see up on the roof in 105-degree heat putting these houses together. We'll just take a look. We'll just take a look. And you're deporting these people. You're deporting these people that can build the houses to get us out of this. You have literally slowed growth of the housing market, Scott Turner. No, you're not freeing up houses, because these immigrants didn't come in and buy houses. They rented them. And most of them have multiple families living in one house because they're trying to get a foothold in a new country. You don't know shit about what you're talking about. You're literally making the problem worse. George Allen says, I got 5 cats and 2 dogs. Guess they ain't ate them yet. Yeah. No shit, man. No shit. I am telling you, this is just stupidity to the nth degree. Quantrux, Trump just said, if not for the tariffs, he would not be able to bail out farmers. That's bullshit. He's added $2 trillion to our debt. Well, Mr. Trump, if you had not put the tariffs on, they would not have never needed you for you to bail them out. No shit. No shit. Absolutely. 100% nailed it. Annie Q. Crowley says racism is a mental disorder. It is. It really is. It is the bigotry. It is mental. It is a mental disorder. But you want to know the biggest reason, 100%, the largest reason houses are so expensive? Yes, right here. Private equity thought it would be a great investment. Buy up houses, turn them into Airbnbs. The market gets sweet. You can sell them off for a profit. Private equity went in and bought up huge amounts of inventory, driving up the price of homes. And they did it on purpose because that's what they wanted. They wanted to buy the homes, drive up the price, then sell them. And that's what they did. It's just like the 2007, 2008 collapse. Who did they blame? Oh, it's them poor people get them loans, man. You forced us to give them poor people loans. You forced us to give them black people loans, and they defaulted, and that's what cut. No, that's not what caused it. No, it was all you speculators that went in and bought houses sight unseen. You had mechanics that had a dozen homes using liars' loans. It had nothing to do with poor people buying homes or black people buying homes. It was flippers. It was you people didn't do your job. And you want to blame it on, it's always bigotry. It's always blame people of color. It's always. So what we got? We got Scott Turner. We got Scott Turner up there, just that is the worst kind of person of color right there. Scott Turner represents the absolute worst kind of person of color. He is more than willing to sell people out that look just like him to suck up to the man. And fuck you, Scott Turner. But hey, I'll listen to you. If any of you have any whatsoever reason why you believe that Scott Turner is going to get us out of this housing crisis, feel free. share it, because I don't see it. I don't see it. And that's what I mean by, yes, the momentum's going the right way. Yes, it's a good thing that Democrats will be elected. Yes, we will be able to fix things, but we're going to have to go through this type of shit between here and there. Jordan and Paul, this topic is deadly serious about revoking citizenship. Yeah, they're talking about it, man. They are talking about it. They really want to get rid of birthright citizenship. They really do. So that anybody they oppose, they can just say, "Oh, you're not a citizen." You know who did that? Hitler did that. Hitler did that. Yep. I don't like what you're saying. You're not a citizen anymore. And they want the power to do it. And I tell you, folks, they are running the wrong direction. They really are. I told you something. I said, look, you watch what happens as these numbers start flooding in. You're going to see a huge faction of the Republican Party that are going to suddenly find their spine. And they're going to suddenly start giving a shit about what people actually give a shit about. And boy, howdy, did I underestimate the MAGA taint lickers. I really thought there would be enough of them that would coalesce together to really put an end to this kind of shit. But no, boy, howdy. Little Johnson and his little minions, the MAGA, the Trump taint lickers, have just run 100% the wrong direction. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. I really am. ET, same get rich BS as robo taxis. How many of those are on the road today? I know, right? It's just crap. AI is the biggest boondoggle bullshit. Lisa K 0806, in the same vein, Rep McKenzie, Pennsylvania's got a slow down, brother. In the same vein, Rep McKenzie, Pennsylvania 7th, at Donald J. Trump rally last night, said they stopped immigrants from taking jobs from us. They will stick to the party line at their peril. Yep. Yeah, a lot of them are doubling down. A lot of them are doubling down. And it's going to be really fantastic to watch this split happen, because you're going to have people that are in swing areas that are looking at these numbers knowing they're done. They're toast. They keep going down this direction. They are toast. Samita Fakeda, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. But yeah, they're doing this, folks. President saying, trust me, bro, they were narco terrorists. It's okay to murder them. That's good enough for these guys. That's good enough for these guys. Yeah, we're going to get that video released. They're fighting like hell to keep us from seeing that full video of that double tap strike. I keep telling you, narratives are everything. Narratives are everything. You can run your mouth. You could sit there, you little suck up bastard, Admiral Bradley, you little taint licking bastard, and you could sit there and say whatever the hell you want about. The president said it was okay, bro. He said it was fine. You can do all that shit all you want, but it will not fly when people see those videos. It will not. It just will not. This move right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. This will pay off for Democrats. This will motivate Democrats. This will get them out to vote. It will turn off some Republicans. It will. It will diminish Republican votes. It will encourage Democratic votes. But in the meantime, we have to live through this shit between now and the elections. And that's the theme for the show. If you haven't figured out, if you haven't figured it out, that's where we're going. Mr. Newton said Trump farted the most rancid bean in the elevator, then declared, only I can remove the stink. MAGA applauded as the door opened and shared his odor. Yep. Yeah. This is just going to be repetitive over and over and over again. They're going to say, we were right. We were right. David Martinez, remember when Bush was telling people to go buy a house, then people were upset when they lost their house? Yep, I do remember that. I'm old, man. I remember that. Kim P4412, CNN reports probe into second bombing to be shut down. Go watch. Yeah, I told you. I just told you about it. They're gonna do that, folks. They are. They're gonna try to say no big deal here, and we are gonna beat them over and over and over again about it. That video will leak. Someone will leak that video. And it's not just stupid, gross policy like you got keg breath and Trump who just really wanted to murder some people. That's all it's boiling down to, is they wanted to murder some people. They thought they'd look tough, and they really, 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 really thought it was going to be the American people were going to look at them murdering people, and they were going to say, "Oh man, I like that." And to be fair, 25% of the country did. The worst among us did. They loved it. They absolutely loved what they did. They wanted to murder some people too, but the rest of the people are absolutely repulsed by this. 100% repulsed by this. 100%. And Trump just keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Y'all remember this incident right here. Before I play this video, I kind of want to set it up a little bit. Folks, I want you to watch Trump's demeanor change. He's kind of in his groove about insulting people. He'll insult Tim Walz. He's kind of in his groove in the beginning of this. He's spewing out the few talking points that his addled brain will let him remember, and he's enjoying it. Watch where that changes at the end of this video. Watch his demeanor change before he turns around and huffs off. Y'all remember this. I played this the other day, but it is absolutely worth playing again. Just so you can see, he knows just how damning his personal weakness and frailness is. And first, and start off with, look at that old bastard. He's 80 years old, and I don't mean a good 80. He's a rode hard and put away wet 80.
Very much, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a rocky fight. We're going to get out of here before something happens. They asked about my MRI. MRIs are very...
Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI records.
Will you tell us what it was Governor Walz, you mean the incompetent governor? So, if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect. What was the number they It's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So, if you want to hear about it, or if you want to release it, you want to have it released. News Nation, failing News Nation.
Now you see he's in his groove, man. Perfect phone call, all that. Look, and you can see his demeanor. You can see. Now watch what happens.
News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Tell us what they were looking at.
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain, because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Did you see him? Just get real combative, real ugly, real, just the nastiness came out, because he knows this is it, man. Once this is just this will never stop being the topic of conversation. If you folks can keep at it and keep at it and keep at it and keep at it and make the corporate media keep asking these questions, his health will never stop being the topic of conversation, because he is dying right in front of us. And I'm bringing receipts. Mr. Knutson, will it be possible to impeach Keg's breath? Great question, man. And let's pause the show for a second. Let's deal with this. Do you want to? This is one of those questions that, for the good of the country, you would want to force him to either resign or be impeached. Short term. Long term, he is the gift that keeps on giving. Politically, you never want that guy to leave. He's incompetent. He's stupid. People don't like that he insults our military leadership. People don't like that it's really obvious. This drunk just wanted to murder some people. He's diminishing us on the world stage. People see that. So that's what I'm talking about. For the good of the country, yeah, drive that guy out of his job. That's going to be a hard fight because he's funneling money into the Trump family. He's taking Pentagon money and funneling it directly into the Trump family. We've talked about that. We talked about Junior's drone business. We talked about the rare earth minerals business that Junior's gotten into. I mean, do you really think that Trump's not tied to any of this stuff? I mean, come on, man. Come on. Where you been? You know what I'm saying? So it'll be harder to dig keg breath out of that job than it will be to get an Alabama tick off your dog. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Jesper Jensen, 1370, the Danish military declared USA a security risk like Russia. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. We are. Thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. It is super important that we get input from around the world on this. That's one of the problems that we have here in the United States is we're somewhat isolated and we don't get feedback. So I'm truly grateful for our European audience, our Australian audience, our African audience, our Asian audience. I'm really glad you were here. We've got an Asian member of the community that just keeps referring to me as Uncle Paul, which is a compliment, by the way. Stephen Leach, 1410. What about Greg Abbott mandating Turning Point Club America in every high school? I just talked about that. I did. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. Yeah, they are doing that, man. They're really doing that. They're going to use tax dollars to force Turning Point USA to screw up your kids' brains, man. To recruit Republicans. That's what they're going to do. Damon Dog for the swear jar. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you being here. But look, you've got this. Trump releases, this is supposed to be his MRI results, okay? This is freaking laughable. I want to read this to you. I do. This is, first of all, it is on, it's on White House stationery. So, you know, it's not like MRI results. But this is just a memo that came from Sean Barbara, tongue-tied today. Barbabella, Sean Barbabella, the physician to the president, put this memo out. And I just want you to envision, you remember the guy with the long white hair that said Trump was in amazing health and yada, you know, that guy died. Remember that doctor? Just envision him when I read this. For immediate release, as part of President Donald J. Trump's comprehensive executive physical, advanced imaging was performed because men in his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health. That is a lie. They do not do MRIs as part of physicals. They only do MRIs when there is a medical need, period. That was just a lie. Sentence 1. The purpose of this imaging is preventative, to identify issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure he maintains long-term vitality and function. Again, lie number 2 in sentence 2. They don't do MRI checkups. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. President Trump's cardiovascular imaging is perfectly normal. Folks, this is not the terminology that you get from an MRI. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. They don't ever say it's perfectly normal. That's not how that works. There's no evidence of arterial narrowing, impairing blood flow, or abnormalities in the heart or major vessels. Again, that is a lie. And I brought receipts for it. I brought my own receipts. The heart chambers are normal in size. The vessel walls appear smooth and healthy, and there are no signs of inflammation or clotting. Overall, you get where I'm going with this, right? You get where I'm going with this. All right. Stick with me because Gavin Newsom had a response to this, and I absolutely adored it. His comms people are the best in politics right now. They are. So Gavin Newsom was physician to the governor released this physician to the governor of the state of California memorandum December 1st 2025, just absolutely roasting Trump for that memo. It's from Dr. Doolittle, MD, PhD, governor's physician, chief of peak human performance. As part of Governor Gavin Newsom's annual physical, we conducted advanced imaging of his cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, and neurological health. I'm pleased to report that nothing about Governor's health is merely, quote, normal, unquote. Governor Newsom remains the healthiest human currently alive or recorded in medical history. His cardiovascular scans are the best we've ever recorded. His arteries were described as shimmering, unquote, and his resting heart rate was so steady the EKG machine asked if he was, quote, meditating or just naturally enlightened, unquote. His bone density is exceptional. You get where I'm going with this. So this is great. You can read this online. You could read the whole thing online, but you get the idea, right? I mean, it just roasting him over this. George Allen, 1962. Yeah, who comes up with Hegseth's place? Tongue-tied today, folks. I don't know why. Kimberly March Shore, thank you for being you and showing daily that not all us Texans have lost all our marbles. There are millions of us that are good, decent people. Millions of us. Stephen Leach says, sorry I was late coming in. That's okay, brother. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, my man. E.T. Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove has posted that she believes that he is getting infusions of Alzheimer's drug Leqembi, which requires MRIs, which is a strong possibility. But this is what I want to talk about for a second. I want you to stay with me. All right. I want to talk about my cardio event and why I know this is all just bullshit and how it really works. Okay, there's a virus that exists in all of us. If you're unaware, there are viruses and bacteria that don't affect us. Our bodies don't react to them. Yep, breaking out the fact net. This is real, people. There are viruses and bacteria that are in our systems right now that don't affect us. They just don't. Your immune system doesn't react to them. They don't hurt you. You don't know they're there, but they are there. They are in all of us. All of us. Now, there is one particular virus with a name about that long that is in all of us. And about one person in a million every year wins the shit lottery. Something happens and they don't know what it is, but it causes this virus to go insane, just off the charts reproducing. Then it becomes a problem. It becomes a serious infection, not one of those where you don't even know it's there. Okay. And I'm talking, it's literally like 1 in a million are the numbers on this. The results of it are pericarditis. That's what happened to me. And I got to tell you, folks, it put me in bed for a month. I was on bed rest for a month. My heart enlarged because the sac around my heart was so swollen and so full of fluid that my heart was having to work incredibly hard to pump. It was so squeezed in there, it couldn't even relax fully. And man, I was just physically exhausted. And the extra work that my heart was doing, caused my heart to grow. And when it did, it caused one of my heart valves to deform. This all really happened, folks. This just happened to me, not, in the past. This happened to me. Now, they put me on these crazy ass antibiotics because they had to end this like overnight. Like I said, I was on bed rest for a month. They took an MRI to see exactly where we were, what was going on, how, just to confirm everything. They got rid of the infection. Did what the doctor told me to do. My heart, my swollen heart went back to normal size. It took time, but it did. And when it did, that heart valve went back to normal. But when they did the MRIs to look at everything, the MRI doesn't come back and say, "Oh, you're in bad shape," or "Oh, you're in great shape," or "Oh, you're absolutely normal." No, it comes back in percentages. It does. And they did sonograms, and they did everything, that whole battery test, so you could see how much blood was flowing through this valve. I mean, they took a look at everything. And then when everything was back to normal, had additional MRIs that, and everything was back to normal, they were taking a look at, how much of a blockage do I have in my arteries? What kind of cardiac shape am I in? And folks, I'm glad to report 100% heart valve went back to normal. Heart went back to normal. Everything is freaking great. They took a look at my arteries. I have a 14% blockage in one artery. And for a man of my age, that is great. That is fantastic. That is the kind of results you get back. It's not, "Oh, you're amazing." Just no. The results are, I had a 14% blockage. The results were that when I had the infection and my heart was, swollen, I guess is the best word for it, enlarged, they had a percentage for which, I was getting blow through on this heart valve. Those are the results of your MRI. And the fact that he is not releasing that data means it's bad. It's bad. And I mean, it's really bad. Ask anyone that has dealt with one of these situations, and they will explain to you why what they're trying to pretend are MRI results back are so fucking laughable. It is completely laughable. Those of us that have been through these situations know. Rich Lawton, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support, brother. I'm truly grateful. I am truly grateful. Oh my God. My wife just sent me a text. She's still pissed about this. I made a joke. That's what I do. I try to keep everybody calm and happy. When all this was going on, I made a joke, completely unaware that they have to document everything. Okay. I made a joke and I blamed it on her cooking. And they put that in the chart. It's in the fucking chart, man. And she is still pissed about that to this day. She just sent me a note. All right, George Allen. All right, Paul. Glad to see you. But look, yeah, as somebody that has been through this before, I know what the before results of an MRI look like and the after results of the MRI look like. And you are more than happy. I'm more than happy to ask anybody. We've got a lot of people that work in the healthcare field. Ask them what a 14% blockage is. That's good fucking news, man. That is great news. You tell people shit like that. I mean, that's something to be proud of. That at my age, 14%, that's all I got. I'm in good shape, man. If his results were not shit, he would release them. He would release them. He would release the actual results. And he can't because he's fucking dying right in front of us. Everybody that has been through any of these healthcare problems or helped a parent through these healthcare problems can look at him and know, they know he has literally in the last year, this crisis is killing him. It is killing him. And yeah, I do believe that he's probably got Alzheimer's or some other on top of it. But they did the MRI of his chest. Folks, that tells you he has a serious cardiovascular image. And I cannot beat this enough. If he was really in good shape and he was really doing well, he would really release the results, because those results tell the tale. Every single corporate media outlet, they all have doctors that they pay that would look at these results and say, oh, for a 79-year-old man, he's doing great. These numbers, these percentages, these are great. The fact that they put out that another one of these bullshit things where he claims he's the same height and weight as Liam, as Chris Hemsworth, is bullshit. That man is dying, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. And it's a problem, folks. It is a problem to have a weak president like that. Thank you for the cup, by the way. Somebody sent me, this is from Kitty Town. This is from Kitty Town. And they sent me this and some Kitty Town coffee. Thank you for the cups. I really appreciate it. They're fantastic. I love these things. I'm getting into the Christmas groove and loving it. I really appreciate your generosity. It's not just his physical problems. It's not just that, exactly. Well said. Well said. It's not that he just looks like a walking corpse. It's not. It's that he's lost a step, that he's mentally lost a step. And they really thought it would be a good idea to put him on a tour to talk to people. And it went horribly last night. It went horribly last night. He sat up there, and even MAGA were like, really, dude? Really? You know, you get the bots that are like, oh, gas prices, look at the gas prices. Yeah, but we also look at our energy bills, and we also look at our grocery prices and our health insurance prices and our car insurance prices and everything. And the fact that gas prices are down because we went from the summer to the winter blend ain't exciting me, bro. But last night, somebody mentioned in the chat that they've started calling him Donnie Two Dolls. Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC calls him Donnie Two Dolls because he keeps having this speech where he keeps telling everybody everything's fine, the economy's great. You don't need to buy your kid $23. Just buy him $2. Well, I thought everything was fine. If everything was great, I should be able to buy my kids whatever I want. But of course, you're telling me that's not the case. And it's just everybody's like, wow, man, this is who we're dealing with. This is who's at the reins while all of this is going on. Peter Campbell, history assignment, Woodrow Wilson and stroke. He acts like a lot like Donald J. Trump. Angry outbursts and dementia. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. George Allen, similar to COPD, Paul. No, it wasn't COPD, nothing to do with my breathing or anything like that. It was nothing like that at all. It was literally pericarditis. Man, I tell you what, if I hadn't gone to the doctor, I'd have been in bad shape. But Trump keeps making mistakes. And I'm gonna pause for a second. I want to tell you, us old guys are the worst about not going to the doctor. We are the worst about not going to the doctor. My dad died younger than I am now because he sat in a fucking recliner and had heart attack after heart attack after heart attack and did not go to the hospital. They could have, what a slap in the face that was when that doctor told me, why didn't you bring him to the hospital? I didn't live at home at the time. It was just my mom and my sister were there. And just that doctor looked at me in the face and said, why didn't you he was pissed. Why didn't you bring me here? This was something he would be alive if you had brought him to me. The doctor just told me that it was just don't do that stupid shit. Don't. I had a problem. I won the 1 in a million shitty lottery and had a virus that we all have go nuts. It was just a weird thing. And the fact that I went to the damn hospital, they caught it. They caught it before, because let me tell you, had I not, what happens in these cases is complications start to happen because you've got, I won't get too deep into it, but it leads to other complications that are permanent and kill you. But no, I went to the doctor. They caught it. They treated the infection. They put me on these massive diuretics that got rid of the swelling around my heart. My heart returned to normal. I am here and in good shape because I went to the damn doctor. Don't be a hardhead. Don't do that shit. There's nothing tough about not going to the doctor. It's stupid, and you're just screwing your family. JWYZ 1981, thank you for being here and supporting the show. $20 is a lot of money, brother. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Big Gizmo 80, Paul, I live in Pennsylvania, and I was watching the morning news before work, and people who attended the rally were just drinking the Kool-Aid. I am telling you, folks, it's not flying. It is not flying. Even among MAGA, they can see the grocery bills. And I got to tell you, and again, let me pause the show for a second. This is a community thing. George Allenson says, thanks, Paul. Worked with a few elders over the years. Sorry about your dad. Yeah, it was frustrating the way that happened. But look, I told you, we have people in different fields. We do. Tony is my farmer friend up in Minnesota, and he keeps me informed about things that are going on in, real time with farmers. Whenever I have an issue, he's one of the people that I can reach out to. I have farmers in the family. I've got Tony. I've got people that I can reach out to. I've got ranchers that I know on a personal basis here. I like to be able to talk to people that have real information, good information. And Tony has reached out to me to let me know that bird flu is back, baby. Bird flu is back. We got a new strain that is tearing through the flocks. That means your egg prices are going to go through the roof. Just an FYI, it's happening right now. And you've got Brooke Rollins that's in charge of our agriculture, and she is an idiot. She is an idiot. So they're not telling everybody. They're not informing the public that this is happening. And I guarantee you what they're going to try to do is that stupid suggestion that they made about just letting this tear through the flocks instead of culling flocks. It's idiocy. And this is going to cause long-term damage to the price of eggs. It is. The way they're going to handle it is just going to make it to where egg prices aren't going to spike and then recover. It's going to be horribly bad. I mean, you're talking years instead of months. Skeet's there. The pendulum is swinging back, and the right wing will never recover. No, it will not, because they're going to do stupid shit like this. Thanks, Tony, for the information on the bird flu. I really appreciate you, brother. But then you've got things like this on, foreign policy problem. We need to talk about Ukraine for a little bit. We talked about Ukraine, and I warned you in a previous show that, look, things are not great in Ukraine. They really aren't. They're massing up a lot of debt. Their debt to their population it's going to be a serious problem, and they know it. They know it going forward. So Volodymyr Zelensky was more willing to participate in these peace talks. Then it broke that Trump was making side deals with Putin to benefit himself, to benefit the Trump family, to benefit his oligarch buddies. They were trying to sell out Ukraine, force Ukraine into a shitty peace deal. and make deals with Russia, cutting the EU out. Now, we've talked about this before. War is old men talking and young men dying. War is old men making money. And you've got the old men in Europe that are benefiting from this Ukraine-Russian war. They are. You know, our European audience, you need to be very aware of the fact that you've got your Neville Chamberlains all over Europe that are not willing to do enough to let Ukraine win, but they don't want to do enough to let Ukraine, they don't want to allow Ukraine to lose because they're benefiting off this war. They really are. It's happening. That's what's going on here in the States. That's what's going on here in the States. You're buying our natural gas right now, by the way. In Europe, you're buying a lot of our natural gas here. It's one of the reasons our electric bills are skyrocketing when oil is in the toilet, but natural gas prices keep climbing, because we're selling you our natural gas. That's part of what's happening. But Trump was making side deals with Putin and pissed off your oligarchs in the EU. They were really livid that they were being cut out. So while they haven't been willing to actually dive in feet first to help Ukraine more, they have reacted. And let's break it down. Veggie Owl, I have the VA for my health care. I am neurodivergent and need my health care, especially my medicine. Now a lump in my breast. Everyone should have health care. Yes, everyone should have health care. Everyone should have health care. Skeet Sayre, 2018, the Trump administration proves that dealing with the devil makes you a dunce. Yep. So look, this is what we're talking about with Ukraine. Trump has been pushing for this peace deal. It's not really a peace deal. It's a Putin wish list. And he just lost it. Just day before yesterday, went absolutely off on Volodymyr Zelensky again, screaming that you're losing. There's nothing you could do about it. Yada 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 yada. And he's pissed because of this. I mean, this is going south. What Donald Trump wanted was to push this peace deal through so that his deals with Russia could be solidified and he would make his money. And now Europe has caught on. The jig is up. Everybody's caught on. Everybody knows. And Trump is pissed because he can see his money vaporizing in front of his eyes. He is livid about that. Absolutely livid about that. But what has just happened, and I'll explain what happened in just a minute, has put a new spring in Volodymyr Zelensky's step. He has come back swinging. It's no longer the discussions they were having about maybe we need to cede a little territory just to bring this to an end and we can get back to business and we can take care of our people. And yeah, it's going to suck, but maybe we have to do that. Oh no, Volodymyr Zelensky has come out swinging. We will not give up an ounce of territory. We will not give up any land whatsoever. This is what changed. Remember, that was their original stand. We ain't giving up no land for peace. We ain't doing this shit. Then this round of peace talk started happening, and Volodymyr Zelensky seemed much more amenable. And they were really discussing things that were on the table about maybe we have to give up a little land in this because the support out of Europe wasn't there. Trump was betraying them. It really didn't look like there was much of a way to go. And again, Zelensky's showing a new confidence. I mean, he is doing political. I mean, he's engaging in political judo against both Trump and the oligarchs in the EU, who have been talking. Whose main criticism of Volodymyr Zelensky is, "You're a dictator. If you weren't a dictator, you'd hold elections." And we want a chance to put people in power that are much more amenable to doing whatever the hell we tell them. And you won't hold elections and yada, yada. You get it. Well, he called their bluff. He said, cool. You shut Russia down. You stop missiles from flying into my country. You stop Russia from attacking my country. And we'll hold elections in 90 days. which I absolutely love. I love that he is calling them out. I love that he is absolutely 100% not taking their shit. I mean, this is fantastic. This is great news. And there's a reason. There's a reason this happened. This didn't just happen because Volodymyr Zelensky felt this way. He just suddenly woke up one day and he was more confident. Something has actually happened. Stephen Leach, the bird flu is different this time because now it's going to be bird to human with a 93% death rate. We don't know that that's exactly true, the case, but this is a new strain of the bird flu. What is very, very along what you're saying, I get where you're going. I do. It's not factually accurate, but I get where you're going. Allowing this to run through the flocks instead of culling the flocks absolutely gives that virus all of the time it needs and all the replications it needs to mutate into a human strain. It does. It is the stupidest, worst idea. No one thinks this is a good idea, but they are really tamping this down. They're gonna try this shit this time. And it's not gonna be good. It's not. Crown and Coke 99 says, glad you're healthy, big guy. Love from Calgary, Canada. Do you think people avoid doctor visits due to the cost and insurance? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You are 100% spot on. It is true. People hate to go. They really do. It's a consideration I had. When I was having symptoms, I was like, okay, is this serious or is this I'm just sick? And I really said, no, this is serious. You got to go. Couldn't shake it. I just the symptoms I had could not shake it. The level of I couldn't walk across my house. I would get dizzy. I would be completely out of breath. I couldn't walk from here to there. I knew something was desperately wrong. So yeah, and I caught it. Shit, I wasn't pumping blood, man. I wasn't pumping blood. But yeah, that is a big reason because of healthcare costs. But look, this just happened. Yeah, this really just happened. Trump dealt major blow as Europe threatens nuclear option if Ukraine deal goes left. They found out 100% about Trump's backroom deals, about Trump trying to solidify post-war deals with Russia. And I got to tell you, Putin is playing Trump on this. He really is. Putin loves Europe. All the Russian oligarchs love Europe. They do. They really do. And forgive me, I'm trying to find a chat went by. I'm trying to find it. No luck. Damn, that was a good one too. That was a good comment. Spicy Justice says, glad to see you're okay, Texas Paul. We need you here and healthy to share the truth of what's going on because it sure as hell ain't coming from mainstream media. God bless you and Mrs. Texas Paul. Amen. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm glad to be here, brother. I'm glad. Zelensky's too tough for them. He is a very smart man. He really is. And yes, that really happened. Let me explain what the nuclear option is and what Europe just threatened to do. Europe holds $2.4 trillion with a T in American debt. They just called up Scott Bessent and they just told him, you go through with this shit and Trump's makes side deals that cuts us out. And I want you to be keenly aware this conversation isn't much about the welfare of Ukraine and the future of Ukraine, as it was about the oligarchs in Europe getting fucked. They just told Scott Bessent, we will dump all $2.4 trillion of your debt. We will dump it overnight. And the results of that would be massive currency devaluation, hyperinflation. It would cause a lending crisis because banks would just absolutely begin to fail, one right after the other. They hold the ability to absolutely destroy our monetary system. And they are telling us that this is serious enough that they will do it. That is the level of deterioration of our relationship. That is not friends talking to each other. That is a direct threat coming from Europe. And Zelensky believes him because he 180 degrees turned from, yeah, let's have peace talks to fuck you. I'm not doing it. Yeah, that's really happening, folks. Really happening. Mr. Will 70, hey, Paul, caught you late, but I'm glad you're here. But I'm here. I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm very glad you're here. Yeah, that really just happened. The EU, again, told the United States, if you do this shit, if you try to force Ukraine into this situation, if you try to make these side deals with Putin, and it happens, we will end you. We will dump your debt tomorrow. And they weren't joking. They really weren't joking. And that just tells you how much the relationship between us and our European allies has been degraded by Trump and his duplicitousness and his the fact that he is a crook. He is a con man. No one trusts him. He screws everybody. And all he cares about is his own pocket. He doesn't give a shit about Ukraine and the people in Ukraine any more than the oligarchs in Europe really do. They don't. They don't, folks. It's about money. Right now, they've got Ukraine sidelined. None of their, very few of their agricultural products are being produced. Their manufacturing is diminished because of the war. They're racking up debt to Europe predominantly for this war. And all the oligarchs in Europe are happy with that. These are all good things for them. This is an ugly situation. It really is ugly. But again, this is not something that goes well between now and the midterms and now in the 2028 elections. This is something that we're going to, again, going with the theme of the show, dark times ahead didn't mean good things electorally, because if we can destroy the Republican Party as it is, we can actually have a chance of moving forward in the future back to the level of decency that we used to engage in. Rock and Ron, aka Ron Slater, glad you're here, brother. I'm late, very under the weather, but we'll watch on replay. Man, I hope you're feeling better, brother. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. I hope you feel better. Dave Barone, you really think this administration is smart enough to heed this warning? Yep, because Trump is not in charge. Trump is not in charge. That message, that hits Nutlick right in the testicles. That hits Scott Bessent right in the testicles, because Scott Bessent, this is, big Wall Street's guy. He's the guy they got by the shorties who's supposed to be doing their bidding. And if he lets something like this happen on his watch, that would be the end of Scott Bessent. They would throw him off a roof, man. And he has vulnerabilities. He really does. So yeah, this is one of those situations where Trump has dementia. He's not the guy making the decisions. He's not. Immigration, you've got Stephen Miller and Tom Homan. Economically, you've got Howard Nutlick and Scott Bessent. Yeah, this is one of those situations where Trump not actually having his faculties may work out to be a good thing. Skeetsier says, ignorance is a feature of the right wing. Yeah, it is. 100% it is. Kira loves Michael, super sticker. All right, look, we've talked about enough heavy shit. Because, I mean, look, let me wrap it up. Who wins in all of this? You got the broligarchs who think that they're doing well for themselves. They're not. They don't come out of this. They're being just as stupid as Trump is. They are. They're being just as stupid and selfish as Trump is. They're allowing this to go on and allowing this to go on. They're being just as stupid. Who wins in all of this? Bingo. Bingo. China has supplanted the United States as the stable government in the world. Nobody's pissed at China. Trump has to do business with China. What do you think's happened to China in this trade war with Trump? How bad do you think they've been hurt? Trump has done everything he can to hurt China. How bad do you think he's hurt them? And folks, if you're watching this on replay, please open up the chat panel. If you're watching this on a PC or a laptop, in the lower left, on the lower right-hand corner there's a button there that says panel on it. It will open up the chat, the live chat. You want to see the responses here. You want to see how well informed these people are. There's a parallel show that goes on in chat. And while you're at it, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell. Let's keep growing this community so that we can get this information out to people because it's important. China replaced us. And I don't mean they replaced us as the stable government in the world, although they are headed that direction. No, they replaced us as a supplier and they replaced us as a customer. China's trade surplus just topped $1 trillion. Trump didn't do shit to China economically. Nothing. They just replaced us. They took a look at this and said, we can no longer rely on the United States as a trading partner. We have to seek out other partners in the world, both suppliers and customers. And they went to work, man. They went to work. They have made deals, peace deals, because there was always, hell, India and China were shooting at each other on India's northern border and China's southern border. They put all that to rest for business. China is doing big business in India. China's has worked to open up markets all across Asia. China has moved into the Middle East. China has moved into Europe. Hell, Canada is making deals with China. Used to be some of our best friends. Mexico and Canada used to be the U.S.'s best allies. Canada is making deals with China. They've literally grown since Trump went on the attack against them. He's done nothing. He's diminished us. He's made us untrustworthy. He's hurt our agricultural industry. He's hurt all of our specialty industry. See, the United States was never a bulk manufacturer, but when we did build things, it was usually high end, hard to get shit. I mean, that's what we did. No, they've replaced us in our services. Mr. Newton, China got everything they want out of this. They did. They did. And Europe, Mr. Newton, you need to be sounding the alarm. You do. To your friends and your folks in Norway. We've got several friends from Denmark here. We have people from the Netherlands here. You need to be with people from the UK in the community. We've got people from because I don't translate this show, not so much in France, but you need to keep people aware. You're hurt just as bad as we are in this because your oligarchs are doing the same stupid shit in Ukraine that ours are. And China's they're coming out of this smelling like a rose. Skeet Sayre 2018, China is in such a good position that there's an active leadership challenge. Stephen Lee says this is exactly what China wanted. It's not what they wanted. It's not. It's not what they wanted. But it may have been what they needed. It really may have been what they needed. Jan Reichenberg says Miami's outcome 4 out of 5 had to switch blue. Go Miller. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's all good news. It's all good news. Electorally, it's all good news. But we've got to live through this shit between now and the midterms and now in 2028. Again, that's the whole theme of the show. Yeah, things are looking great electorally, but Republicans are going the wrong damn direction. We've got a housing crisis that's caused by a lack of labor, and they're going to try to deport people as fast as they can because their bigot base loves it. And they think that's going to save them. And it's not. It's not. It's, their bigot base loves murdering people. So the Republicans think, oh, we'll just keep doing that shit. We won't hold an investigation into Trump murdering people in the middle of the damn Caribbean. We won't do that. We won't look at it because our base loves it. And that's going to save us in the next election. When no, everybody else besides your core 25% think it's absolutely fucking repugnant. They're going the wrong direction. They have signaled what they intend to do. They're going to double down on everything that is electorally fucking destroying them. And here comes bird flu. Here comes beef prices. If you think beef prices are high now, wait. Just wait. I'm telling you, over the next 2 years, beef prices will be high enough that it will change the dietary habits of Americans. Your fast food hamburgers are gone. Really, folks, that's for another show. But really, beef prices are going to continue to skyrocket because of the idiocy of the Trump administration. Again, we have to live through that shit, which is terrible, but electorally, it's going to look great in 2028. Big Gizmo 80, not to excuse Trump, but it's funny how one bad year under Trump has undone decades of goodwill in our past. Yeah. There's some things you just shouldn't do, like, I don't know, start trade wars for no fucking reason. Folks, I love to use this as an example. They started a trade war with the UK. They drove the UK back into Europe, basically, is what they've done. UK was on an arc to be, we're not the EU. We have literally just given full wind behind the sails of the people that want to go back to the EU. And why? Why did Trump do this? We now have 15% reciprocal tariffs with the UK. What were they before that were so bad that we had to start a trade war? It was 2.4 to 2.2. 2.4% tariff on goods going into the UK, 2.2% tariff on goods coming out of the UK to the United States. That 0.2% disparity is the evil that all MAGA think that it's okay to start this trade war. Well, now we've got the tariffs are the same, but it's 15% and 15%, and you're paying it. You folks in Europe, you folks in the UK, I should say, are paying it. You folks here in the United States are paying it. That stupidity, again, we have to live through this shit, but electorally, you can't put the shit back in the horse. You can't unring the bell. I don't care how many times you take Dementia Donnie, lame Duck Donnie around the country claiming that shit isn't what it is. People look at their grocery bills. They look at their at their electric bills. They look at their insurance bills. They know. Kate Marylight, the stable genius hasn't a clue how the world economy works. All he knows about is grifting. George Allen, a lot of great names mentioned the other day, but a shout out to Tennessee Brando. I'm a guitarist, love his music. I really like Brando, man. And he is so damn talented. I watched that dude in 5 minutes. 5 minutes get a topic, a political topic from the political topic coming up. In 5 minutes, he had a song written that he was playing. That the talent that guy has is amazing. It's just amazing. Pinky Parker 65 for the cussing jar. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. But look, I don't want to leave it on all this negative shit. I don't want to leave it on all this negative shit. Chiron 1, thank you for keeping us informed. I very much appreciate it. I appreciate you folks. I really do. And I know we're running long, but it's okay. It's okay. We're good. I want to talk to you about Jasmine Crockett for just a second. The Republicans screwed up. They really did. They wanted to force Jasmine Crockett out of Congress and into a congressional run. They really wanted her to do what she just did, into a senatorial run. They wanted to run against her. They have made a horrible mistake. They have made a horrible, horrible mistake. Now, what they're banking on is a fact. Texas is one of the most bigoted states in the union. Racism is real here. I mean, it is really, really real here. So they made the calculation that if they could get Jasmine Crockett to run, they could turn out their base. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. George Allen says, thanks, love you. But I appreciate you. I appreciate all the support, George. I really do. I really do. David Cantu, 4945. Trump trade through extortion diplomacy through gunboats. Yep. This was a mistake on their part. They made the calculation, and they're not wrong in their calculation. They know their base. They do. A black woman on the ballot is going to bring Republican bigots out of the woodwork. It is. But they really screwed up in their calculations. They don't understand Democrats and what's going on with Democrats. They do not. She is going to bring excitement. She is going to bring money into this race. She's going to motivate people. She is going to bring all of that to the race. She is 100%. But I'm going to tell you, it's not a guaranteed lock for her because the person she is running against is James Tallarico. This is not a lock for Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is going to bring excitement. She's going to bring money. She really is. James Tallarico is a turnout machine. He is exactly what the Texas Hispanic voter has been waiting for. See, for most Democrats, he's right of center. He is. On a lot of things, he is left of center, very left of center. But he is a turnout machine for Hispanic voters. He is highly religious. He wears his religion on his shirt sleeve. He does. He is, how do I say this? He is the whitest Hispanic guy we could run in this state. He is. He really is. And he is a force of nature so far on the campaign trail. And people are excited and turning out. So, yeah, you have two very different candidates. You have very different candidates coming out. You've got one that is highly electable in the state of Texas. He turns off almost no one. He is highly electable. Then you have someone running that excites our base even more. These are the two choices that we have. You talk about a no-lose situation. So, yeah, with everything that we just talked about, as far as Republicans and suppressing their own vote and ginning up Democratic voters, causing us to turn out in times. All of these electoral wins, folks, these were in special elections. These were in not off-year elections where Democrats don't show up, or off-year elections where Democrats really don't show up. A lot of these were special elections where we never show up, and we have been blowing it out number-wise in all of them. These two candidates, James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett, are our choices at a year when the wind is completely at our back. And the only strategy Republicans have is try to put their thumb on the scale for Jasmine Crockett, because she's a turnout machine for the Republicans. She is. No way around it. The Republicans in the state of Texas are racist motherfuckers. They are. They will turn out to vote against Jasmine Crockett. Remember, people don't vote to say thank you. They vote to say fuck you. And the bigots will turn out to vote against Jasmine Crockett. So the Republicans are going to try to put their thumb on the scale for Jasmine Crockett, and they're going to try to cause a fracture within the Hispanic community, because their only hope going forward is to keep the Hispanic community not voting or voting Republican. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to present this as a slight. Any support that goes for Jasmine Crockett, they're going to say, see, they don't like you. You Hispanics, y'all have, LULAC, y'all have been supporting James Tallarico. Y'all Hispanic voters been supporting James Tallarico. They don't give a shit about you. All they care about is those people. And they're going to try to appeal to the bigotry that exists in the Hispanic community. And yes, there is bigotry that exists in the Hispanic community. There is. That's their play here, folks. That is their open, wide open, out in the open strategy. They're going to try to put their thumb on the scale for Jasmine Crockett, which I think is going to bite them in the ass. She is a motivator. She is exciting. She swings at them like Muhammad freaking Ali. And I don't think that they have any clue or any understanding. They've grabbed a tiger by the tail. And there really is no good way for them to go here. There just isn't. Their only hope is that cause a fracture in Democratic voters, play off black versus Hispanic, and they're praying the black person wins. That's what they're going to try to do, folks. That's what they're going to try to do here in Texas. That's where they're at. That's what's left. Mike Daly, the Dem, whether Crockett or Tallarico, Texas is blessed. We are. What a situation to be in. What a situation to be in. We can either support Jasmine Crockett or we can support James Tallarico. Either way, good candidates. Good candidates. George Allen, 1960s, Jasmine, but hey, I dig what you're saying. Hey, a lot of people are very excited about Jasmine Crockett. She is going to be a win for us. McBaster's Clash of the Titans. Yeah, it's going to be, watch this space, folks. This is going to be an interesting primary. It is. And I'm really interested to see how these two come out against each other, because James Tallarico has taken a tack, speak no evil. I like Colin Allred, but this is why I want you to vote for me. That's been his tack. It's going to be really interesting now to see if it stays that way. Victorian Speakeasy, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you. Working on it. I'm working on it. I'm in communication with his people. I'm working on it. I can't get Jasmine Crockett on the show. I can't. I will tell you that right now. And no, I have no butthurt about it, but I cannot get through her gatekeepers. I cannot. The people running her comms just look at this old hillbilly boy and they're like, no, not going to happen. So no, Jasmine Crockett will not be on the show. Not because I don't want her on the show. Maybe you people can make it happen. I have reached out to them over and over. I reached out to them when I was in DC. I wanted to meet with her. No, they wouldn't do it. That's on them, man. That's on them. I still will support Jasmine Crockett. It doesn't matter. I support Democrats. I support good Democrats. There it is. Maybe you can reach out to her office and find out why her people won't let her, come on the show. But I cannot get through her gatekeepers. I cannot. I am talking to Tallarico and his people. We're going to get them on the show. We are. So if it ends up with Tallarico on the show and Jasmine Crockett's not on the show, that ain't my doing, folks. I'm not picking a side there. I am blessed to have either one of them. We have great tickets on both sides, but it's that simple. It's that simple. Anyways, that's what I have for you today, folks. I want you to be excited. Be excited about the results. Be excited about the candidates that we're putting up. I mean, hell, you got Swalwell running for governor in California. We have got some great people running for office that are going to do great freaking things. Be excited about that. Be motivated about it. Yes, it's going to suck. This is an interesting one. Colin Allred has decided to run against Julie Johnson. He's going to try to primary Julie Johnson. So, yeah, there's that. So, on that note, maybe you can get Jasmine Crockett to come on the show. She's more than welcome. I've reached out at least 5 times. At least, including the last time I was in DC, could not get through her gatekeepers. Yeah, go ahead, guys. If y'all can get her to come on, great. Maybe she doesn't realize how much we love her here. I don't know. But that's up to you guys. I'm not reaching out anymore. I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I have asked and asked and asked and asked and asked. She knows she's welcome. All right. On that note, enjoy some Texas cities at night.